So the next step is going to be creating my document in InDesign. So I'm going to go to the InDesign software. This is the home page. I'm going to click on the New File button here. And I'm going to specify a bunch of technical details. So I'm going to get something new from scratch. I'm going to call this poster. And I'm going to change my units of measurement into inches because the format was specified in inches. I want this to be 11 inches wide by 17. I want this to be a portrait, but I want the facing pages option to be off because I want this to be only one page. The margins are set to a default value of ½ an inch. I guess that's good. The bleed, in our case, we want this to bleed, and we want this to be the normal value. So there is a little link chain here. That means that when I fill out one, everything is going to be the same value, and this is what I want. So I want this to be 125 inches, and then I'm going to hit the tab, and it fills everything automatically. So I'm going to do the same thing here for the slug. The slug is a region around your piece of paper, and I want this, so I'm going to get the InDesign format to create a PDF that is the right size. So in this case, I'm going to ask for ½ an inch of slug here. So I'm going to say 0.5, and again, I'm hitting the tab value right now. And everything looks good. So I'm going to create a new document. I'm going to zoom in a little bit in there just to get a sense of what's what. So the white rectangle is my actual page once it's printed. It's my poster as I will hold it in my hands. This sort of purplish line here is the margin. The red line indicates the bleed, so of course the bleed will be cut off, right? That's why we're having it. And the thin blue line is the slug. This will be the size of my final PDF document, which will be larger than my actual poster because I want the bleed to be cut. So this is the basic layout. I'm gonna put the picture in there first. So in order to do that, I have my tools panel here, and in there I have a rectangle frame tool, and with the X in there, this is used to create a picture box. So now you can see that my cursor has changed its appearance. I'm going to align my cursor here on the bleed, right? Because I want my image to bleed, and I'm going to drag this down all the way down to the other corner, and you can see that it's sort of, if you can't see it, you'll feel it when you do it. It sort of snaps into place on those guides, and now this is a big picture. And I'm going to go here in the Edit menu, and in there, or it's not Edit, rather it's File, sorry. File, and then I have Place or Command D on a Mac, and then I can choose my image in here. And as you can see, it's way too big. But here is perhaps a few things I should say about the interface. Those two top tools here we use all the time. The one is the sort of black selection tool, and this is used to move boxes around. So I can click on something here. So this is my image box, and I can click on it, and I maintain my click here, and I can move things around like this. So this is the box. If I want to move the image within the box, I have to switch to the other selection tool here, and now you can see that my cursor looks like a little hand, and I can actually move. Now what I'm moving is I'm no longer moving the box, I'm moving the picture within the box. So that's also very helpful. So I could do something like this, I guess. So I'm just showing a very small part of my picture right now, but it looks actually quite interesting. So I'm going to do that. Other things that you might be interested in is it's always possible, whatever the tool you're on, if you click on the space bar, you can transform your selection tool into the little hand here, and this allows you to move around in your documents. It's very helpful. And if you do, now I'm using my the pad on my computer, but I'm zooming in and out by making those zoom in and zoom out movements. That's also very helpful. So I'm gonna try and see if I can create now a text box. So perhaps I want to zoom in, and again I can press the space bar to move things around. I'm gonna create a text box. So I'm gonna simply go to, again, my tools panel, and I'm gonna click on that T. I'm gonna create, like this, a text box, and I want to place the probably the title. I think it's helpful to begin with the title. Now it's black on black right now, so I can't see anything, and still in my tools panel I have this big T here, and if I double click on that I have access to a color picker. And the issue here, this is the colors, and the K stands for black, and right now it's all black, so I'm going to turn it to 0 black, which means that my text is going to be white. And now I'm going to try and set my text a little bigger, because that's my title, and we remember that there's 3 things we want about the title. We want it to be very big, we want the leading to be as small as possible, and we want the letter spacing, so the space in between letters, to be also super small. So I'm going to make a selection again of my text. I can do that because I'm on the text tool selected, and I'm going to go here to my control panel that's on top, and it says that I'm using Mignon Pro Regular, and that's right now my type size is 12 point. It's very small, so I'm going to go arbitrary to a 200 type size, and you can see that it's now there's no text anymore, and there's a little if I can zoom, you can't really zoom, but there's a little red square that has a plus in it, and now it says that my text is so big that it can't be seen. So I'm going to switch to my selection tool because I want to resize my text box here, and you can see that now I can see my title. So we're going to do those 3 things that I mentioned before. I think we want to first of all perhaps deal with the letter spacing. So the letter spacing is in this control panel right here. It's this VA. So you want to take off unit. I'm going to start with -30. And here it's already touching. So I'm going to stop it right there, although there are places maybe I can try -40. Still works. So I'm going to also switch that here on those 2 lines. And then what I'm going to do, I think that's good for the letter spacing. Now I'm going to select the second line, and now my leading is 240 points, and I want to bring this down. So I'm going to try 200, but that's still too wide, too big. So I want to try and bring them closer together. So I'm going to again make a selection here. I'm going to click in the box here, and then I'm going to use my arrows. Now I'm using my arrows to bring the numbers down, and I think I have a bit of an issue here with the la, see, because I think what I'm going to try is make the la, this I'm just improvising, I'm going to make the la a little bit smaller here. I'm going to say 100 points. That's perhaps a little bit small, but I can do the same thing. I'm going to make it larger, but my idea is to have it, probably it's not a very important word, so it could be set in a smaller text, of course, and this will enable me, if I come back here, to scrunch my title way more. So that's not bad, but it seems there's too much space here, so I'm going to delete that space, and I'm going to replace it with here. I have 2 VAs. One of them is letter spacing, and the other one is kerning, and it allows me to choose the amount of space that I want between those at that point exactly. I'm going to try the value again, 40. Maybe that's not enough. I'm going to say 100. I think that this looks like a reasonable space right now. So I'm going to I have an idea because I did that recently. I'm going to take out the exclamation mark. Now I'm switching to my selection tool. I'm clicking on the corner because I want to make my text box smaller. I want to create a new text box. I'm going to paste my exclamation mark in there. I'm going to make that a little smaller again by going to the corner with my selection tool. I'm going to make my box a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to go to this other tool here that's called the Free Transform tool, and this allows me, you can see that if I'm, perhaps you can see on the cursor here, if I click, I'm able to have things rotate. So I'm going to have this here. I did that recently, so it comes to me easy. And then I want to add the performance. So I'm going to add, there's no problem about adding more text boxes. Some people, they like everything to be in very few text boxes, but I'm not like that. So here we need to do what we did before, because I just pasted my typography here, but it's black on black. So I'm going to highlight it with the text tool. I'm going to double click on the big T here to get to the color picker. I'm going to change this to 0, and then I see the word performance. I'm going to make it a little bigger by doing again the things that we saw before. I'm going to try in this one at 100. Whoa, it's too big. So I'm going to say 50 maybe. 50 isn't bad. I think I'm going to try here. I'm improvising a little bit. I'm going to go for italics. I think I like that. I think I'm going to move this around a little bit. Could be here, perhaps. Could be here, I think. Could be like this, perhaps. Now, I think I have something, that's, I think this could be moved around a little bit. So I think what we'll do is, but it's not bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm still on my selection tool. I'm going to make a selection of everything. Now everything is selected because you see there are frames around everything. I'm going to click. I'm going to click on the, I'm going to hold actually the shift key, and then I'm going to click because I want to deselect the picture. And now I'm going to go into object and do group, or command G. This will make one group so that I can move that around. See, I can. Now, it would be, I think, interesting to create a few variants of this. But I think we're pretty good now for the title. At least that's one thing that could be moved around. I think I'm gonna introduce the other stuff, but in a different movie. So I'll be right back.